Hi friends, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I'm Austin, and today's video is, well, it's quite the build. So this build was streamed over on Twitch, and it took me 3 days to do. If you want to watch me build over on Twitch, I stream on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and it might sound a little bit boring, the idea of watching a build if you've never seen a Twitch stream before, but they're actually really fun, and I'm not just talking about my own streams. Like, I spend now most of my days watching builds and Let's Plays over on Twitch. They're a lot of fun. Even if you don't want to check out mine, I highly recommend you check out some. There are some amazing Twitch streamers over on there. And speaking of people over on Twitch, though, I do want to thank some of the people that hung out with me during these long hours. I think this build took me about 7 hours to do. I think I forgot to mention that. Yes, it was quite the long endeavor, but like I said, it was spread over 3 days, so it wasn't too bad. But I do want to make sure I thank the people that helped me, either with moral support, because, you can go a little bit crazy after a while, or, just giving me tips or ideas for this build. So in case I do forget anybody's name, I do want to kind of preface this by saying, like, if I did forget your name, then I'm really sorry, and be sure to let me know in the comments of this video if you're watching, and I will pin a comment at the top, listing out any names I forgot, but I don't know if I forgot that many, so yeah, hopefully I didn't forget any though. But yeah, so I do want to thank the Sorry Simmer, Friendly Neighborhood Jess, Plum Bobbery, Simming Slytherin, Jewel, Beanie, Myrma Plays, Nerd on the Rocks, Saucy Potato God, Lady Lush, Simzaid, and I'm sure there's a couple more that I'm missing. It's really tough because there were so many new friends that I made with this stream and with the stream after. I've met so many new people, and it's been so amazing. I've really been enjoying my time on Twitch, so I want to make sure that everybody who does spend, whether it be 5 minutes or 2 hours or 5 hours with me, I want to make sure that they know that I truly appreciate the time they're spending with me. So yeah, in case I forgot your name, then I'm really sorry, but I don't think I did. At least I'm hoping I didn't, because it's never a fun feeling. So, but like I said, let me know if I forgot, and I will pin your name to the top comment. So yeah, now that I've talked about pretty much all I wanted to talk about, I have to figure out what to talk about for the next, 16 minutes. Okay, so here we go. If you can't tell, this is actually not the first time I've done this voiceover. I know, a big shock, but I've had some issues with this voiceover, and I've just had some issues with technology lately. So I am recording this voiceover Saturday night, which if you saw on Saturday morning, I struggled with getting my computer to turn on, which is not an issue that I like to have, but alas, here we are, and I had just the worst morning troubleshooting. I woke up like an hour and 20 minutes earlier than I normally do for the purpose of actually watching a Twitch stream, because I was, because of my sleep schedule, I tend to miss Lady Lush's streams, and because she streams in the morning from my time, but obviously later in the day for her, and so I didn't want to miss it, so I woke up early, I turned on my computer, and it's not working. It's not turning on. It's getting stuck in like this boot loop. So I'm able to watch part of her stream on my phone, and then my phone battery gets low, and I eventually lose, or my battery on my phone actually dies, and so I spend most of my morning trying to troubleshoot and get my computer working, and it finally happens. It finally begins to work, and then I had enough time to actually start my stream for the day, which, if you didn't see what my stream was on Saturday, I actually streamed some gameplay, and thanks to peer pressure from, I think, Friendly Neighborhood Jess, Beanie, and maybe Simming Slytherin. I'm not 100% sure yet, or at the moment, exactly who it was, but I was peer pressured into doing what we kind of decided to call the Truly Trashy Challenge, which is basically my sim self, I should say, going around town and trying to break up most of the marriages. Very similar to Val, the Sorry Simmers. Is it her matriarch challenge, I think is what it's called? Evil matriarch? Yeah, it's one of those, like a home wrecker challenge, I guess, yeah. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. The Truly Trashy Challenge, because it's also a rags to riches. So not only am I broke, but I'm also trying to get with very rich and typically rich, but also married Sims. So yeah, it's been pretty fun. It was a very long stream because I was trying to figure everything out, but I will be doing that again this Saturday. So if you do want to watch me actually play the game instead of build, if that's more your cup of tea, then be sure to check out my streams on Saturday, because the plan for now is to do that. Maybe in the future I'll change the day. Maybe it will be Tuesday or Thursday, or maybe a different day entirely. So keep an eye out on those. If you ever want any updates to either this channel or my Twitch channel, or just in my personal life, you can always follow me on Twitter, which my Twitter account is @TheSimSanctuaryYT. It's the only handle that is different than every other one. So I do have to make sure I point that out. So if you do have trouble finding it, it should be found there. And I always try to link it in the description. So yeah, now that I spent about 6 minutes talking about Twitch, and probably most of the people that were watching this decided to walk away, I did want to make sure I thanked Beanie once again. I do believe I thanked her earlier, but I also want to make sure I thank them because they were the ones that came up with the title of this build, which I think I mentioned at the top of the video. This build is called Rural Residence. If you are wondering why I chose that name, especially because it sounded like I was really struggling to say it, it's because that is part of the reason. Because with Twitch streams, we talk about random stuff. Like, they are so fun. Like, whether it's my stream or another person's stream, it's just so fun talking about random things. And in this instance, we talked about sort of different accents of English, and it was a big conversation about language as a whole, but there was a big part of the conversation about English accents, and I was talking about how most of the American accents really struggle with words like rural, or at least my area, I should say, the accent struggles with the word rural, and other countries don't, because of how just the R is pronounced. Like, we're very heavy on the R pronunciation. So that was the conversation, and it basically turned into like, hey, that's actually a great idea for the build. And I couldn't argue with it, so like I knew I had to pick that for the title. And it might have, I'm pretty sure it was Rural Residence. If it was a different secondary name, then my bad, but I really like how Rural Residence sounds, especially because I really struggled with this build in one aspect mainly, and that was trying to, make it fit into the world. If you watched my building tips landscaping video recently, you may have seen that I was talking about making sure your landscaping really fits in with the neighborhood you're in, because that really helps, I think, make it look right, which is kind of a weird thing to say as a as a whole, but you know what I mean. Like, it really, I think, helps you landscape if you're struggling. So I did not do that here, because this house really feels like something you'd see more in Windenburg or in Granite Falls. But I didn't want to, or I tried to put it in Granite Falls, but it just didn't fit. And I also didn't want to really make this a vacation home, because it would have felt very cold, and it wouldn't have had like all these fun rooms, which I'm really happy I stuck with this area, because I think at the end of the day, the house really does work here. It's just, when I was starting the build, I really felt like it was looking like a build that you'd see in Granite Falls. So yeah, now, what else am I going to talk about is a good question that I'm thinking about right now. Part of me sort of wishes that I was, that I would end my voiceovers, early, because then I wouldn't have to talk as long. But I don't know, I do really like kind of spending the 10, 15, 20 minutes here talking, because I know some people aren't able to watch my live streams or my Let's Builds or very long form videos. So, a video like this, which is almost 20 minutes, so it's not really a short video, but, a video like this might be the most that somebody can hear from me and hear my thoughts. And, if people like that, then that's cool. I'm really shocked. This is probably going to sound crazy, but I was personally never one that was really a fan of my own voice, but I don't know, I've been actually getting a lot of compliments on it lately, so it's been very nice. It's not been expected, and it's not ever asked for, but to receive compliments or receive, any sort of positive, statement about my voice has been very nice, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, you know, if I can talk for a few more minutes, then I will. So now with this, oh, did I also mention this is not the first time I've done this voiceover? I probably have already. This is the third time. Oh yeah, and I never talked about my terrible, like the rest of my terrible Saturday. So yeah, the Saturday started with my computer being turned off, or not turning on. Then I had a fantastic time once it turned on, watching streams, streaming myself, and watching more streams afterwards. But then afterwards, I was on my computer, I think editing a video maybe, and I bumped into my cell phone that was charging, and it like got knocked off the table it was on, and it fell right on my foot, like right on the top of my foot, and I'm pretty sure a bruise is forming because it's really tender right now, and I didn't think about how heavy my phone was, but it's pretty heavy. It hurt a lot. So that's kind of also what happened today. And then also I must have hurt my back laying down or something, which is really embarrassing to say, but it's the only thing that I can think of why my back hurts right now. So yeah, who knows? Not been the best day for me, but I really enjoyed streaming and I really enjoyed watching streams. So that is enough to make this day entertaining and fun. So in the grand scheme of things, I think it all balanced out and this was actually a very, very nice day. So, okay, this video is coming out Monday, and because I am having computer issues, I can't guarantee that there's going to be a full slate of videos this week, and I can't guarantee that I'm going to be streaming on my normal days this week. I do want to mention that because worst case scenario, I have to troubleshoot my computer and I might not be able to get a video out. But if I'm not able to get a video out, then I'll try to, tweet it out because I can obviously use Twitter on my phone. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that if you're watching to this point of the video, that at least you know that it might not, there might not be any videos this week. But hopefully by now I will have fixed whatever issue I have encountered with my computer and you won't have to worry about it ever again. And in case that's not the case, then oops and oh well. I will have to figure out something to do. But yeah, so the toughest part about this build was honestly not the build itself, it was actually editing it, because this build took 7 hours. There's stuff that I need to, cut out from the build, and it can be tough to cut out things because, like I said, this video is like, 17 minutes or 18 minutes? I can't remember. But, there was stuff that I really enjoyed about this build, but I ended up having to cut it out because, it just came to be that way. So, I really do wish I could have had more of my favorite rooms in this build, but technically for the next, 13 days or 12 days or something, you can actually go in and watch my streams on Twitch. The VODs stay up, I think, 2 weeks after the live stream ends. So if you want to do that, you can. I never expect anybody to do that, but I've actually received messages from people, well, I shouldn't say people, person, that actually watched a couple of my streams on, after they were posted, and it was really flattering, and it was also kind of weird in a way because I just leave them there in case I want to download them or anything, but I never expect anybody to actually watch them or even part of them, but somebody seemed to enjoy them, so that was nice, and because of that I'll probably stick with it. I could obviously have them for longer if I had Amazon Prime, or if I spent, I think, $9 a month or something like that, but I'm not planning on doing that yet. So if you do want to watch the 3 streams of this, then you, I think, have another week for at least, I think you have at least another week to be able to watch all 3. But like I said, it's 7 hours, so I don't expect anybody to do that. But if you want to, that's fine too. So the yard space was actually one of the toughest parts of this build because I don't know, it was just, I kept putting it off really, and then it finally finally came time to actually do the landscaping, and I don't know, I just thankfully had people helping, or not helping me, but giving me ideas, I should say. So yeah, they were helping me with ideas, and we came up with a lot of interesting ones. I'm pretty sure Beanie came up with the swing set and the pool that I end up adding in, and then a lot of the plants were my idea, as well as some of the finishing touches. With most of my streamed builds, I do finish them up off stream because, well, in this case, I was, wanted to make sure I was rating the Sorry Simmer, who was streaming for either her first time or her second time. I can't remember exactly when this stream ended, but yeah, and so I wanted to make sure I did that and show support to friends. That is, I think, a very important thing. So that is one thing I do want to mention. If you do stream and we are friends on here, then let me know, because I would love to check them out. I can't guarantee they'll be able to make any or every stream, but if it's possible, then I really want to at least check out your first stream or your second stream or all your streams. Like, I watch so many Twitch streams right now, it's not even funny. Well, I mean, it's a little bit funny, but yeah, I just watch a ton. So let me know if you stream, and if if you've been a friend of this channel for any number of days or months or even years, with how long this channel's been out. Yeah, just let me know, and I'll try to check out one of your streams, because I've made so many friends here on YouTube, and I've been making so many friends over on Twitch that, I just want to make sure that I am supporting my friends and also enjoying good live streamed content. So yeah, the landscaping of this build I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite landscaped builds, and it's probably the best example of like a side yard ever from my builds. I don't want to say ever, like in the case of all Sims builders, definitely not, but in my instance, yes, this is the best side yard I've ever done. There's no backyard, but this side yard has a swimming pool that is very non-private, so that is kind of weird, but it's a very relaxing place, and I would love to have Sims move in here. Maybe this could be an attainable goal for my Sim self in the truly trashy challenge, but who knows how that challenge is going to work out. But if you want to see more of that, like I said, it should be on Twitch. I probably won't be posting the videos over on YouTube, just because well, I'm not gonna say it's like really like trash or anything. They're very long. Like, the first episode was basically 3 hours, and I did nothing except make a couple hundred simoleons and get close to flirting with like 2 Sims. So if that sounds if that sounds interesting to you, then be sure to give me a follow over there, because boy, do I have the content for you, pretty much. So yeah, there's not much else to talk about for this build, but I think screenshots should be coming up on screen soon. The one thing I do want to say though is, because this build was so big and there was so much detail to it, there's a ton of screenshots I just couldn't share on here just because I didn't want the video to be too long. So if you ever want to see more screenshots of my builds, then head on over to my Instagram account, which I do believe I link in the description of all my videos, and you can check out all my screenshots. I try to post them the day of or the day after, if I can remember, and if I ever forget, be sure to just comment on my newest picture at the time and be like, hey, where's the screenshots to such and such build, and I'll be sure to post them. But anyways, as you can see, the few screenshots I was able to share here are on screen, and they look gorgeous. I really love how this house turned out, and sorry I was bumping into my desk just a second ago, but if you missed last, well, I guess Wednesday's video, the landscaping tutorial build that I did, or tutorial that I did, then be sure to check that out. It was a lot of fun to do. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.